Hey, look at this. What is this? This is fucking terrible syntax. See, now it'll actually compile what I type in. Okay, so Nichijou. Recently watched it and it's fucking hilarious. The way it handles its comedy is genius. Not too big on the slice of life genre, but when the slice of life is used like this, I gotta give it props. A lot of people have some very vague ideas about how to funny. People tell you it's about this or that, and you generally get some pretty vague comments about unexpectedness or timing. Or, it's scientifically proven that people laugh when they're surprised. Yeah, okay, well, getting shot is pretty surprising, so I don't think that's quite it. A lot of what people tell you is more about superficial features and attitudes towards making a joke, but no one ever actually defines what exactly a joke is. Now, I would define it exactly as an extreme contrast of opposites. Like, take this joke from Avatar.
How am I gonna find him, Uncle? He is clearly a master of evasive maneuvering.
You have no idea where you're going, do you?
The first line sets up a concept that the guy this character is tracking is good at throwing people off his course, but then it's immediately contrasted with the exact opposite idea, that he has no idea where he's going. The show misleads you into thinking a situation is one way, only to reveal it's the opposite. And the opposite is important. If I do a mass equation and get my numbers off, that's not funny, because it's not an opposite, that's just wrong. This concept is much easier to demonstrate with Nichijou, actually. You know, what's so genius about it is how it uses a combination of it being a slice of life and the unique potential that animation allows to create extreme contrast. Nichijou, being a slice of life, has a lot of mundane stuff going on, and the advantage of that is it gives you one side of your irony. So what these fuckers have gone and done is taken the dramatic, crazy animation commonly associated with serious action series and apply it to the really mundane situations of slice of life, and the results are... Whereas I think a lot of designers would look at slice of life as an excuse to skimp out on their animation budget, Nichijou does the complete opposite and it adds so much kick to their jokes. Kicks with their square-ass fucking feet. And it's not just the crazy action animation. The hyper-detailed guns and weaponry that are pulled out of nowhere changes with the editing to create associations with, like, evil mechas. One time they just start the episode like it's an actual fucking action series and contrast the entire series. They also do this in the opposite direction with the fucking faces, changing to something so simple you can make it with a keyboard. These fucking eyes, it's not an or statement if you put a space in between it. What the fuck are these programmers doing? If you've ever wondered why dick jokes were such a big thing, this is why. Sexual organs and sex in general have strong associations with being taboo, raw, inappropriate, and unrefined. They can create irony simply because they're the opposite in nature to most things. Barging into a family dinner and shouting, dicks, 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 is going to be a bit funnier than barging in and shouting like, owls, 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 owls. Because dicks will contrast a family having dinner a lot better than owls. Not that either of these are particularly funny though, because they lack a line of logic and aren't strong enough ironies to work without one, which is part of my more detailed theories on comedy. And you can see this in some of Nichijou's funniest scenes, where while part of the joke is contrasting the animation with a slice of life mundanity, they use anxiety-driven normal life events as the line of logic to create massive overreactions. The joke isn't just the crazy animation, it's the extremity of the overreaction contrasting how someone would realistically react in this situation. Other lines of logic for overreactions involve getting bitten by dogs, having the strawberry on your cake taken, and mosquitoes. Basically anything that would cause a reaction gives you the opportunity to cause an overreaction. If you just had a character walking through the street and they just suddenly blew a hole in 5 plants, it would be very confusing and only mildly funny. For instance here, I can use the game of rock, paper, scissors to draw a link between this and Hunter x Hunter and give the line of logic for a massive editing tone switch. If you were just confused by that joke, it's probably because you haven't watched Hunter x Hunter. Or, I got something wrong with my theories and now I just look like kind of an idiot. Another example of lines of logic is innuendos. You take a sentence you know is totally mundane and give it a bit of emphasis on certain words, and suddenly a totally mundane sentence has become something totally different. If you start searching for it, these contrasts of opposites are everywhere. Everything from Egoraptor's hard animation changes.
Let's assume that I'm not willing to experiment any further than what I've done, and I'm a stubborn dick and I just want to move on. So let's move on!
To hard switches to 9/11 footage.
That was a close one, Uncle Andy. You sure are good at it.
Do you have any idea what could have happened?
It's not too late.
To Soviet Wombo's text directly opposing what is being said.
No, sorry, I don't think it's loaded. Wait, can you pick it up?
Or putting emphasis on each side of the contrast.
Have you put the mic up your nose?
Or other great comedians taking basic attributes as a line of logic to call one thing something completely different. And Velvet's probably going to be expelled for plagiarism. Fuck you, I can be proud of my own work. So there you go, an outline on comedy that you didn't ask for and about 30 seconds on Nichijou. Whoops. I don't know, man, comedy's fascinating. There are so many ways to trigger that irony, and despite comedy being what I've built this channel on thus far, I'm still discovering new things, like the expectation and denial formula. For example, when you're watching a YouTube video and you're expecting it to fade out and end very smoothly with like a final line or something, but then it goes and